Just as no individual can be free all by themselves, so no nation can be free all by itself. And the United States has been the nation that has lit the light of democracy around the world.
My name is Michael Manning. I go by Mike. My current title is CEO and owner of CarePartners Plus. It's a communication and data company that focuses predominantly on healthcare improvement. In the military, I entered the military as a private in 1972, and when I was honorably discharged, I was a captain in Special Forces, and that was in 1989. Upon being discharged from the military, I went into healthcare. I started out as an administrator in Pittsburgh, in a depressed community where the hospital was struggling for survival. And that was very attractive to me. It was very similar to being in Special Forces, where you really get involved with people that need the United States presence through military advisors to help them survive, basically. I was very fortunate because of my military background. I was promoted very quickly. So within 3 years of having left the military, entering the hospital administration world, I became a hospital CEO. XML was introduced by Microsoft in 2003, which enabled entities to talk between one another, which is what is the impetus of our business. Our business specializes in allowing patients and providers to talk confidentially, where they're able to share information that is very difficult to obtain. And in 2006, when I registered this company, I also registered the ideas with the U.S. Patent Office. And eventually we were awarded 5 patents. We are the ones who pioneered what they call patient engagement. I am totally supportive of David O. Again, David O. as an individual, before he got involved with my company, I evaluated who he was as a person. And I marveled when I learned that he was in politics. It's not something I usually am attracted to. He is an individual who works every day. I mean, he is not doing anything unproductive. Every time I've called his office or have showed up independently, he was working, and that always impressed me. And he was working on grassroots issues, nothing pie in the sky, nothing to feather his own bed. He is someone who works for people. He comes from blue-collar, grassroots people, but he's a very intelligent, articulate individual, well-educated, and understands how to connect with people. He really cares. He's got a lot of family service in his background, and he has a lot of values. He's a Christian, and he's someone who believes in a higher authority, which is something that I respect. And he does things, he's very creative, right? So he doesn't say no, he says yes, and he figures out how to help and how to get something done. He doesn't pick the things that are easy. He takes on whatever the challenge is for whatever project he's trying to support. So my relationship with him is my only involvement in politics is through David O. But what he's done is, again, he motivated me to get involved with veterans. I would have never done it even though I was a veteran without him. And it's been a very difficult road because I have to interact with a lot of bureaucracy which for me, non-political bureaucracy is difficult. And so he's always been the ear I've talked to. He's always offered to help in any opportunity to get this idea out. The idea is it's more than an idea. He helped me get involved with the VA. I worked at the VA for 3 years. I took my company in. We, pro bono, invested about $1.5 million of our capital into proving this system that I described, that you asked me about, VIMS. And we proved it all the way up to the secretary level. And while Secretary Shulkin was the head of the Secretary of the VA, David made sure I was able to interact with him. You know that the president signed an executive order just recently. The things that are in that executive order, we do. But David O is my go-to person. And he has done a fantastic job in his current position. He's involved with every single opportunity that's presented to him from different associations. So veterans usually form into VFW or different veteran organizations. What they need is advocacy or association, so that when they have a problem, they have someone to go to. That's David O. David O answers every veteran's request. And what he does is he personally gets involved with who they are, what they need, despite whether they're honorably discharged or not. For a veteran, that's probably the most important thing. They know that they have someone who will listen to them, not pay lip service to them, but will actually get involved, take the time that's required. And David's done that for so many people. I don't want to name any names, and it would take me a while. But he gets involved with the most challenging problems and is uninhibited when it comes to speaking truth to power in order to help explain veterans. I do know one case that is probably important to mention, where there was a Special Forces non-commissioned officer, several combat tours to Iraq and Afghanistan, who was going to get discharged because he intervened with one of the Afghan leaders and their corruption and scandalous behavior with some of the village people that was morally questionable. And when this person was basically being railroaded out of the military, Dave stepped in, found out the truth, got the truth elevated to the Department of Defense Secretary, and got this individual's discharge overturned. And that story is known throughout Special Forces.